The definition of woke is not as I use it. There's a completely different meaning than the way Ron DeSantis or Joe Biden or Obama uses it. Their definition of woke is anybody who's actually interested in protecting we the people, the U.S. Constitution, and our military, their dependents, and basically doing their fucking job. That's their definition of woke. My definition of woke is the progressives claiming to be leftists who are against who are against neocons, against neoliberals, but at the end of the day, you climb in bed with the motherfuckers. You talk all this shit about Gaza and Israel, justifiably so. That is a genocide going on over there. But when it comes time to act and end it and get justice for the Palestinians and dispense justice to Mossad, Israel, and all of its bad actors in the Epstein Uniparty, oh, no. You're all talk, but at the end of the day, you act on behalf of Israel. When Kyle Kulinski is talking about turning a blind eye to all the shit that the Democrats are doing, they're not actually Democrats, they're Republicans. When he's pretending there are two separate political parties because, well, the Democrats, the neoliberals are less obvious about they committed the genocide in Gaza along with everybody else. You're pretending Trump's not a Democrat who raised the Clintons from the Lewinsky impeachment ashes. You climbed in bed with the motherfuckers and unleashed a goddamn biological weapon at a preschool in the woodlands where I camp via raccoons that I feed by trapping them, having dirtbags, partners in crime at Department of Health and UVM trap them under the guise of vaccinating them for rabies, but shooting them up with the bioweapon, a very communicable respiratory illness that had the raccoons coughing and wheezing quite loudly and visibly. They couldn't make their vocalizations. The whole woodland figured out something wasn't right, the regular sounds and noises, and they were hearing shit they shouldn't have. They know a sick animal when they see it, and then they see another one doing it and another one do it. A bunch of them got the hell out of Dodge. Thank God. A bunch of others died, and it crossed over to me, but I bet you I wasn't the first human that it crossed over to. How many of those kids and those preschool teachers got it? How many people at the church got it first and then spread it out? How many tourists got it? That's woke. That's talking a left game, but acting right along with the neocons and the neoliberals that you claim you're against. And coming and sending people to drop Bernie's name and Sarah George's name to cozy up to me and schmooze me to illegally pierce attorney-client privilege. Me and my AA team, they're lawyers and doctors, so you violated HIPAA, you violated attorney-client privilege, you violated my whistleblower seal, you violated a sealed rape case, and then you communicated what you thought was sensitive and it was somewhat sensitive, but it wasn't anything I hadn't already put out on my channel that they watch. But they didn't care. But when you're texting it and talking about it in the context that you did, now all of a sudden they're making sure I don't have access to those resources. You did that on purpose. And you didn't remedy the situation. You come, give me 2 fucking hand warmers. A few candles that ain't gonna last 24 hours. You make token efforts after you cost me thousands of dollars and unleashed a fucking bioweapon that has clearly affected wildlife that we know of all the way to Arkansas. And based on the comments on his video, all over the country. We'll never know because it was the Department of Health and the healthcare system that makes diagnoses on this shit that did it. Like Ida B. Wells said, those who commit the murders write the reports. How many people die from it? But that wasn't the first bioweapon you let these fuckers release. You let them poison this water fountain right here. The whole water system at Hannaford here. We get the Hannaford sign in here, hopefully. Hannaford, right there. You let them poison their entire water system with something that made me very sick very quick. And luckily, one of the talking heads tipped me off to it. And you sent one of your trolls to kind of tip me off to it because you ain't got the goods on Epstein's partners in crime unless I tell you what they've done. You're not coming to get information out of me to help me. You're doing it so you have something to blackmail your way into the White House and force a bunch of Republicans to resign like your shit don't fucking stink. Like you're going to prosecute them. You can't now because you enabled their crimes. You're woke. Kyle Kulinski isn't interested in a fucking solution. He won't have a channel. Misery loves company. That's why he has such a big channel. He's not interested in solutions. He wants a fucking power grab. He's the Justice Democrats' political strategist. He's supposed to be the head of them. Apparently started them as a, I don't know. Well, if you're listening to him, he's going to take you right to fucking prison. Matter of fact, he's going to get you killed. Because when he's running his mouth on his channel about how we're just going to overlook the Democrats' roles in all these crimes that Trump's committing. Like there's two separate political parties, and we will use Zoran and Bernie basically as our figureheads, but we're going to allow the criminal element to remain, and we're going to overlook their crimes and actively participate in them and enable them, aiding and abetting, accessory after the fact. You're gangsters now, motherfuckers. You're just like Sean Penn's role in Carlito's Way. He was a good attorney for various mobsters. Well, one of them was going to prison. They gave this lawyer $1 million to give to somebody else. He thought, this motherfucker's in prison. I'll just keep this $1 million. Well, word got back to the gangster in prison that he never got the money, that the lawyer just kept the fucking money. So when the lawyer comes to the prison to visit the guy, he's like, I got $1 million, the gangsters, I got $1 million credit with you, motherfucker. You kept that money. You got a boat, you're going to come bust me out of this motherfucker. Or you're going to swim with the fishes. He left puking. That's you. You better start fucking puking. You are not a for real motherfucker. Ain't none of you fucking woke ass cunts for real motherfuckers. You put a hit out on an assassin's daughter, tried to carry it out, all bite on the DL by just enabling it. Oh, we'll just accidentally discuss the sensitive information over an unsecure line. Make sure there's no secure comms that she's been demanding. Keep using her to get more and more dirt on these motherfuckers to blackmail them. And then when she dies, we'll just fucking, cover it all up because we're guilty too. And We'll run on the Democrat ticket and we'll sweep the fucking House and the Senate, and then we'll win in 2028. And yeah, no. Here's your problem. Trump's dying. Once he's on his deathbed, and he ain't going to live but a couple more days, he can order his military, Kegspress, and my father, as one of their top military strategists, to kill you all. Make sure you all have accidents. They can work with the IDF. They can work with Mossad. They can work with British MI6. Because guess what? You're a threat to national security. You committed those crimes with them. Anyway, that lawyer in Carlito's Way, once the hit was out on the lawyer and he was really up the creek, he either had to break the guy out of prison or get killed. He goes to Al Pacino's character and tells him, and Al Pacino says, "You're not a lawyer anymore. You're a gangster now." And then, of course, he heard the tapes of Sean Penn basically throwing Al Pacino or Carlito on the bus. So when Carlito goes to visit him in the hospital after he gets shot or whatever the hell happened, Sean Penn's got a gun in there to protect him. Al Pacino takes his gun and acts like he's inspecting it, took the bullets out. Because he knew when he walked in that policeman that was supposed to be guarding the attorney's door wasn't a real policeman. He was basically a member of the crime family of the mobster that Sean Penn ripped off. So when after Carlito leaves and that fake cop goes in there and pulls his gun, Sean Penn pulls his gun, click, click, there's no bullets. And they cut to Al Pacino taking a handful of bullets and throwing them in. Adios, counselor. Well, that's you. That's all you that's Sarah George. That's Mulvaney Stanek. I don't know who all they're going to kill, but you were all in on this. Michael, Becky, Autumn, the other girl that stays at Cambrian Way, that fucking little meter maid that I video recorded writing a ticket that he shouldn't write, and then Michael, well, that's my friend. I give a fuck. You don't fucking threaten me and demand that I participate in nepotism, motherfucker. I'm an investigator. All investigators have to act independently. If you guys are all covering each other's asses and making sure everything goes down the way you got, you're tampering. You're committing obstruction. You don't get to convert with each other, and you have to do everything independently. And when you're dropping Sarah George's name and Bernie's name, that makes me wonder, okay, maybe you guys might actually be friends with them, but you're actually moles working for Virginia G. Piper because you act just like her. You act like she trained you. And she's using you and telling you to drop Bernie's name and drop Sarah George's name so they actually catch the hell. That's what I thought. And then I'm watching Kyle sit there and give the whole game away, basically confess to a criminal coup. He's making sure voters don't get the truth about the Democrats and the Republicans being a uniparty and that both are equally as corrupt. And then thus, you can't control the election. You don't know how the election's going to go in the midterms because both parties are corrupt. He wants to tip the fucking scale to make sure his Justice Democrats, which aren't about justice, they're the new progressive terrorist insurgent boss, same as the old neoliberal neocon terrorist insurgent boss. Woke version, stupid version with absolutely no military experience. No actual discipline. First of all, motherfucker, loose lips sink ships. You sunk yourself. All of you did. Ran your fucking mouths. You tried to sink me. That bioweapon that you unleashed, you're falsifying the records to make it look like, since you're going along with Dirtbag and all of them and their falsified records, that means you're blaming me and my father. That means you're blaming the entire U.S. military. Active, enlisted, special forces, all the way up to all those military that Hegseth just fucking threatened. They now know you're in bed with Hegseth, Kegsbreath, and Trump. So they're going to sit back and wait for Trump to give the order to kill you, and they'll do it. And you'll never see it coming. You'll be out driving with the kids. Maybe the kids will be in the car, maybe they won't. Maybe the pets will be in the car, maybe they won't. You'll have an accident. They'll throw a bottle of whiskey in it and call it a fucking drunk driving accident. I don't know how they're going to do it. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be Kyle having a fucking accident. I don't know. But the duopoly is the problem. You want to maintain the duopoly and just take control of it. And then your strategy is, we'll make sure the slaves have better conditions, but we're going to keep the slave operation in place. And never get justice for my father. Basically obstructing the ongoing. You're basically crawled in bed with the same criminal organization that assassinated the Kennedys, a sitting president. Were they sympathetic? No. Were they any different than Epstein or Charlie Kirk? No. But now you're going to end up just like them. Don't say I didn't tell you. I've been making videos like this for over a year. You motherfuckers don't listen. You thought you were going to get slick and use nepotism. Well, you told us you had our back. I told you I would help you get justice. You're not interested in getting justice. You're not interested in prosecuting everybody equally according to the law. You're going to withhold important facts and findings